What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Cho, Corey Ryan Forster here. WellREDcomedy.com, WellRED comedy.com. That is where you can find out, we only have one date right now, but every single person out there can see it at the same damn time, which is pretty cool. It's the first time we've ever had a show to promote where it's not like a specific city. It's online, because that's what we're having to do right now. August 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for the boys out there. Excuse me. We're doing WellRED Quarantine. It's $15. It's live stream. It's completely brand new material. You ain't seen none of this shit. It's good stuff. It's what's been going on in our mind throughout these past months of turmoil, but we're going to try to break some tension and have a good time with you guys. And afterwards, there is going to be like a little after-party Q&A situation. So we're going to be hanging out, drinking, buzzed up, talking to all you guys. Thank you so much for everybody who has purchased the tickets. It's been real good. But if you don't know, go to WellREDcomedy.com and grab those tickets. And if it goes well, I would venture to say that we will do these more frequently, because it's still looking kind of rough out there, and we want to keep it safe, and we want to make sure everybody is safe. In the meantime, though, me and the guys are all three working on some individual projects. I can't fucking talk whenever I do these. I don't know why. We're working on some individual projects. Trae, a lot of you that are on the WellRED feed just saw, we just dropped the audio for Evening Skews in here. That's a show he's doing with our buddy Smart Mark. Drew, of course, with DJ Lewis, has had Into the Biscuit, the podcast. And your boy, the Cho, just started a new one. We're on week 3 right now. It's called Through the Screen Door with Corey Ryan Forster and my producer and co-host Matt Coon. We're doing a little variety show. We've got sketches. We've got a monologue. We've got story time. We've got movie reviews. It's been a lot of fun, and I thank you all for listening. And if you haven't yet, go check it out, Through the Screen Door, on all your podcast apps. And if it's not there yet, just go to screendoorpod.com. Check out Into the Biscuit with Drew. Check out Evening Skews with Trae. We're trying to pump out content for you guys, because we know, as I've joked, you've already watched The Office 18 more times, and you've already seen The fucking Wire. So we're doing our best, and thank you for keeping us sane by downloading and subscribing and telling your friends. And like I said, go to wellredcomedy.com and grab tickets for Quarantine Comedy. And without further ado, here's this episode of the podcast. Skew.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread but sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
Y'all know what ranch water is? The drink, the alcoholic drink?
Ranch water? No, but I guarantee my sister does.
So it's basically...
Tastes it with a fucking baked potato.
Well, Andy was telling me about it. She's like, I want to try this thing called ranch water. And I was
We're
like,
going
I
right
bet you
now,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just, as she described it to me, I realized it's just a daiquiri with tequila instead of rum, but like a real daiquiri, not like the super fruity frozen one, just lime,
like a Hemingway.
And the drink. And then you put a little soda water in it. I think I'm going to have that on Friday before our show. I'm just going to get fucked up on tequila and see what happens.
Oh, yeah. I've recently, I've never been much of a whiskey man, but I've recently, due to the pandemic and alcoholism truly setting in, I've started to really hit the whiskey bottle a good
How's
bit.
that going for you?
Honestly, better. They're more fun drunks.
Didn't you puke on it?
Yeah, and then I felt great. Afterwards, I kept going.
So... I just thought it like made you sick. I didn't think you got so drunk.
No. It was actually one of those, like, when this happens to me sometimes with just like a sip of Diet Coke, like you take a swig of something and it just goes down. They're like, it goes down a wrong pipe and it just stay right there on your chest. Yep. Well, like it was just that. And as soon as I puked it up, I immediately felt great. And I was like, well, I'll keep drinking.
My interpretation of your retelling of that was that the whiskey be doing that to you, and you had forgotten that that's why you don't drink it. Because gin does that to me. Or not gin.
I definitely think there is certain types of whiskey I'm allergic to, because every now and then we'll be at a bar and I'll take a shot of whiskey with somebody and I'll immediately sneeze 17 times.
Okay. The whole way y'all are already talking about this, I already know that both of you, and I'm the same way, sort of adhere to this thing that I think a lot of drinkers adhere to, that scientists and stuff will tell you, liquor scientists will tell you is a complete bullshit. And that's that whole idea of like,
well, fuck
different things. No, I know, but that's what I want to talk about. I don't think I know anybody that doesn't buy into this that's a drinker, but the idea that different liquors like affect people different ways. As far as I know, there's never been any real like, actual data that supports
I think
that
that's
or
one of
whatever.
those.
Let me
Like,
ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I mean, I agree.
Scientists do say that Jaeger bombs are real bad for you, right?
That's probably, but that would be just because of like
Red Bull.
It's a goddamn Red Bull. It's like
mixed
ultra drunk
mixed,
and ultra
mixed with the alcohol.
Right.
That's like hard on your heart. Well, like tequila and gin have different things in them other than alcohol.
Also,
like how could I'm not saying it like they're going to give you a heart attack. That's not my point. Agave is what's in tequila. Isn't that's a lot of sugar? Isn't that kind of an upper as well?
Yeah, tequila is the only upper alcohol, right?
Well, it might be the only alcohol that has upper in it. Alcohol itself is a downer.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Jaeger has an upper mixed with it. Right.
Well, my thing is, dude, scientists can't even definitively tell you what a goddamn yawn is, so it's not like they got everything figured out. You know what I'm saying? But, dude,
I know what happens to me when I drink gin. I don't give a fuck what Dr. Dickhead says about it.
Me either. And a red wine, I know, like, if I could be sitting there on my couch, and if someone snapped their fingers and made me a specific type of drunk without me having actually done it, I'm pretty sure that I could definitely be like, oh, I'm red wine drunk right now. I know. I just know.
Somebody snaps their fingers. Ooh, I'm genie drunk. I told you I'd figure it out.
That would hit. One time my buddy Robbie and me were talking. He goes, man, we were drunk. And he was like, God damn. He's like, getting drunk is so fucking rad. But like, the process of getting drunk isn't always great, like having to do it. He's like, I wish there was like a pill you could take that would just make you drunk. And then he stopped for a second. He's like, I guess that's just what pills are. I was like, yeah, we should just take pills.
Drew, so this article I'm reading here says scientists think a lot of it is just people's different psychological expectations for how a certain liquor is going to affect them. But there's another possibility called congeners, and I'm probably saying that wrong. Congeners. Congeners
they lived next to me when I was little.
That sounds like a festival of mammals or something.
Yeah, Debbie Congener. That was one of my mama's friends.
Are you going to GenerCon?
She had a feather mullet. I'm pretty sure she was gay, but she wasn't allowed to be back then. Go ahead.
Congeners are the chemical impurities that are produced as byproducts of the fermentation and distillation process. So it's like you were saying, Drew, all the different little things that make different liquors be kind of different. And it says, it is possible that those different congeners could affect different people different ways. But it's hard to study for some reason, I guess, because
everybody just keeps getting drunk and lying.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, it's mostly the alcohol.
Yeah, they get a group of dudes drunk and they keep asking them questions. They're like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm listening to music."
Right? Yeah, I could imagine too, like one of these scientists being like, "There's so little of whatever that congener is in this tequila. You'd have to drink 15. Shut up, nerd! I'm on 17."
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's a thing. I don't give a fuck.
No, I agree. I agree. It's a thing. When I was like college age, people like close to me, my sister and Katie.
I know where this is going.
Both like pretty much made me, or like I had like a whiskey intervention.
I was about to say, but it was just for whiskey.
Only for whiskey. But they pretty much were like, Katie and Paige were like, no shit. You have got to stop drinking whiskey. Where I'm telling you, got to stop drinking. And I did, and I didn't drink whiskey at all for a long time. Now I can have a little bit. But like, and when I did that, I didn't quit getting drunk. I was 23. I stayed getting drunk. Yeah. But I did quit drinking whiskey, and like those problems. Yeah, right.
And it's not like your sister and your wife were going to just all of a sudden start shutting the fuck up about it.
Right. But it was. And what it was doing, it was like nothing made me more of a just like drunk ass redneck ass. Like nothing brought the like sort of trailer park and Salina out of me the same way that whiskey did. Whiskey specifically would make me just be like, well, by God, like that was the general effect of whiskey on me.
Now it could be such a placebo, like an ingrained placebo that like because every single one of our songs, like our redneck songs, is all about getting whiskey bent and hellbound and taking a shot of Jack, throwing it back, fucking a motherfucker up. That like somehow it really isn't a physical thing. It's all mental, but we've just convinced ourselves if we're sitting there drinking a bottle of whiskey, God damn it, I'm going to get angry. Because I have to admit with you, I feel this like when I drink, usually when I drink, I usually will drink a whole bottle of whatever it is I'm drinking because broken, and I just have a great tolerance. When I drink a whole bottle of vodka, I usually am pretty chill, just lay there, want to watch TV or sit on the porch and listen to music. I'll often, like, when I'm on my vodka benders, I don't even have my phone with me. I'm just, like, fucking around. When I'm on whiskey, I always seem to write at least 5 to 6 paragraph long text telling someone what I think about someone, or you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, and for no reason, I'll just be like, you know what, goddamn it, I need to tell my sister what this motherfucker did. Or like somebody will just set me off, and then here I go. But like, and it just seems very specifically whiskey that I kind of get this like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but fuck science, I guess.
I think Jen's mine. I don't think it's a coincidence. I've never heard anyone say that it's vodka.
Yeah.
Vodka, because vodka don't have any of those other things.
Exactly. Right. Ain't no congeniality in it.
Right.
I had a buddy, Austin. I shouldn't have said his name. He was like that with all liquor, and then we just realized it's just because he's getting too hammered too quick.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have that too.
It's like, man, it sounds like he's like a little allergic to that vodka. It's like, well, he did turn the bottle up for a full 2 seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say, most people were like, I drink a whole bottle. Every time I drink PGA, I end up asleep in the dryer. It's like, yeah, no shit. Fucking
but that's
PGA,
somebody to drink beer all night long and be the happiest, coolest dude. And he's not mean when he drinks liquor. It's just more of like different person,
Yeah.
But mine's definitely gin, buddy.
Right, but see the thing, but like as far as liquor versus, just like speaking broadly, liquor versus beer versus
you're not
wine,
as drunk.
like that makes that
you're not as drunk.
Totally checks out and isn't weird at all, because it's just a matter of
like
one of them gets you way drunker than the other one.
By the time I drank, like I said, when I drink whiskey, I'll drink a whole bottle in a night. By the time I could drink that amount of beer, I would be way too full, and I would have passed the fuck out. Like I couldn't do it. Like I can drink. Go ahead.
So, no, I was just gonna say, part of the reason I thought of my boy is that's the only other person I've heard have a specific intervention, not like a broad other than you, Trae. Like that's a red ass thing where it's like, listen, we got
we still want him.
We know you're gonna drink.
Right.
Yeah,
you can drink.
I get it though. I've got some buddies who were definitely like once they stopped drinking whiskey or just any liquor period, and now they just drink beer. They absolutely still drink every weekend, but no one's had any more problems out. Like all the problems were they were taking way too many shots. They were getting fucking blackout, because it's not like they weren't drinking beer during that too, Right. But it's like once you take the whiskey away, it's like, oh yeah, I can just have 12 beers on the lake, and then I don't yell at my wife and kick my kid in the pool,
Yeah. Speaking of yelling at your wife, I hung out with Bobby this weekend. That's an inside joke. Bobby doesn't even have a wife. He did make some great jokes about his German Shepherd dog, but we saw a bear.
Oh, don't hit.
It came to our camp. Andy left the food out.
Yeah.
Now, in her defense, when I say left the food out, we hadn't gone to bed yet. Like nobody had put the food up in general. We just hadn't gone to bed yet. We had gathered all the stuff we cooked and put that away. There was a bag with cashews in it, and Andy and Bobby's girlfriend Angie were dancing with these pixel whips. It's the thing Andy's into.
Well, and that attracted the bears.
I'll check.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. And Bobby had gone to bed.
Will you go eat those stupid girls dancing? I can't take this shit anymore.
Well, I thought Bobby might have called the bear in retrospect, because Bobby was asleep, and I heard a noise by his van, his new rat-ass van. He's got like one of them 4x4 vans. And I thought in my head, Bobby got up. And then I went to move my light towards him. And as I was moving my light, I thought, it's a bear? And before my thought got the word bear into my head, I saw the damn bear. Mick growled. The bear turned and looked, and Mick stopped fucking immediately.
Of course.
And there was just a pretty big fucking bear just eating our cashews. And, of course, we were like, well, we got to go to the party is over. Well, how do we do this? And then a coyote, I swear to God, runs by right in front of the bear. I just started laughing, which the girls said calmed them down, but it was not like I'm enjoying this laugh. It was very much like God is about to kill me in the most hilarious way. Corey and Trae are going to love this story when Bobby finds my corpse.
Yeah.
This coyote ran between us. Now there's a coyote and a bear within 30 feet of all of us, and the girls are behind me. That made me laugh even more because I'm like, I'm not fighting a bear for either of y'all.
Hell no. I'm gonna tell you
what color was the bear?
It was either black or brown.
I'm not racist against bears. It actually matters with them.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a grizzly. I know that. But actually, I haven't looked it up, Trae. Maybe you know. The California brown bear is extinct, the one that's on the flag.
So it weren't that one.
That checks out. That don't hit.
There's grizzly in some parts of California. It's my understanding up north, but not necessarily in the south, and it definitely wasn't a grizzly. I think black bears are the only other thing around here.
I don't know. I don't know which different bears are indigenous to this region. All I know is that if it's a black bear, you are probably okay unless something's wrong with it.
I'll tell you what.
But if it's a brown bear, then you definitely you don't want to fuck with it either way. But
figuring out what type of bear a bear is something you do long after the bear has done gone and you have done shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's it's the snakes are the same way. Like I've never been walking and a snake was beside me and went like, "That's okay. That's a garden snake. We're gonna be cool." Like it's a fucking dead snake is what it's about to be.
It's like a logic test of Dan is in his backyard and a bear comes in and Dan goes to see what color the bear is. I'll never know what color the bear is just from that amount of information, but I know Dan is white. There is let me go find out what color the bear. Fuck that.
D.L. Hughley had a bit exactly like that on one of his old specials where he's like, he goes into the classic black comic doing a white person voice, he's like, "Oh, it's a bear. Look at that, guys. It's a bear. Let's go say hi," and then they get eaten by a bear and how that would never happen to a black person. Yeah.
Somebody had a bit about seeing black people run. All black people, if they see a person run, they just
Cedric
run.
the Entertainer.
And then where we run from? Where we going?
He's like, let somebody in this auditorium just sort of stand up and just kind of start running right now. He's like, you'll see. They'll pop up at different spots. They'll just be like, what is he? Get them kids. And then he just runs off.
Well,
I promise you, if I ever see a group of black people running, I'm fucking following them.
It was smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. It looked so when I first saw it, it was squatted over the bag, and I did get real scared because I thought it was a cub.
Yeah.
Then when Mick growled, it stood up to show Mick how big it was, and I actually did get relieved then to realize, okay, I don't have a fucking cub alone and no idea where Mama is now.
That would not hit.
Yeah, man.
What did you just let him finish and fuck off?
We did let him finish. We did let him finish, but we were like, I don't know how long it's going to be. And they clearly just they were like, we got to get in the cars. And we had it in our mind, we decided that as long as we were by the fire, we were fine. So because bears don't like fire. Come on.
Yeah, but then they could see you.
Yeah, but I could see it. I had the light on him. I got a picture. All you can see is his eyes. So they went, got everything in the car, like the cooler and all that, and they got in the van and the car respectively. And then it was on me to either let the fire burn for the rest of the night, which is a big no-no in a national park.
Especially out here, yeah.
Right, or put the fire out and have nothing but my headlamp and, my 35-year-old legs.
Boy, you really going through it, boy.
Yeah, so I put the fire out. Slowly walked back to the car with the light on him, but without kind of looking at him, just kind of out of the side of my head because I'm like, I don't know if looking at him is going to make him feel like I'm aggressive, but I'm not trying to do that. Got back to the car. Everything was cool. And then, goddamn, it was so funny. Andy is trying to fix her pallet and just won't let me in the car.
Yeah.
And not like fuck you, but just just
hold on, give me a second.
Hold on. And I'm like, hold on.
Right. Yeah.
What, Andy? She's like, yeah, I gotta get it, because we're sleeping in the car, and what she was doing would have been totally legitimate if there wasn't a bear.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be calm because I'm like, I'm not trying to get in a fight, and also I don't want to start yelling or whatever. And then the bear's like, what the fuck? That's aggression or whatever. And then I guess he ripped another portion of the bag right at that moment. There was just a loud
yeah.
And I jumped my ass just into the car over her and Mick, just we're getting it. This is the bear scenario. And I got to say, I did not sleep well last night, boys.
No,
but that was the end of the story.
But I mean, I know all this, but that bear, he was getting everything he wanted. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
he didn't give a fuck about y'all. He just
right.
This hits and
right.
Just
ripping it apart, eating it all.
It's
just
If he came over there too, like I had, stuff. I was going to throw Andy out the window, so it would have been fine.
Yeah, most burglars just want your shit.
Right.
And then I had to pee at 2 a.m. so bad that I just had to, and I got out and peed in a towel. It was gone by then, but like I was laughing to myself about me having to try to run from a bear butt naked through the fucking national forest.
That'd been something else.
That's a Drew Morgan moment right there.
Oh, I left one tiny thing out.
Through the woods.
There was a point where I was looking at the bear as I was walking back to the car, and I saw eyes over his shoulder. I think that coyote was like stalking the bear, just like everything he didn't eat. Like he was just following him around.
Right.
Like I don't get fucked with as long as I'm with the bear.
I'm sure you're probably right. He probably literally it was. Hey, it's cool if you're gonna finish that, but if you're not, I'm just gonna. Never mind. I'm just. Never mind. Don't whatever you want. I'm just chill. But then whatever the bear don't eat, that coyote swoops in and takes it. Yeah, man, they should have had a cartoon about them two fellers.
All right, that was my own story. This is a short story / question, and I hope this is going to lead to some discussion. Another thing that happened. So we got in there, we calmed down. I had gas real bad. You guys, I was eating sausage and hamburgers.
I bet everybody wished that bear had ate you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we pre-fart?
Like pre-cum?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can I guess why you're about to ask?
Yep.
Because his butt just stank even before he farts.
Because your dog looks at you before you fart, so you think that they can smell it first? As I've always thought that.
I believe you. I knew I was going to get some good info from the show.
I'll be about to fart, and right when I'm about to, my dog will like look up, and I'm like, "You smell it about to come out my ass before it came out my ass, didn't you? Because you got a good nose."
I was about to fart, and Andy said "gross," and I swear to God, she got to the R before the noise came out.
I think that's just y'all.
It was like
y'all got a stink. Y'all got a stink. Stink. Y'all are stink.
And I go, Andy, what? You said gross before I farted, and she said I said gross when I smelt it. I think the fart came out before the fart came out.
Well.
I mean, look,
as we know,
yours are so fucking potent that I could actually genuinely see that.
Your farts are like stars. Like sometimes we're smelling one that has already actually burned up long ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's still so bad and so bright that it's just not getting to us.
I do know what you mean, but I have so many. But like, it's not just that the smell beat the noise. I feel like the smell beat me feeling it come out.
Yeah.
You could just have a real loose asshole right now, and you don't know.
You just sort of gradually leak some fart out, some stink death out.
It was stink death bad too.
Yeah. No, I mean I could say that.
I think I pre-farted and got her pregnant.
Yeah, you may have. I don't know.
Fucking fart, baby.
You know what makes
grow up and work at the fart bank.
Shit. You know,
that reminds me of something I've been wanting to ask you.
Okay.
Not you, surprisingly. Are there fart cops?
I don't know. They never really get it. It seems to me that Butt Man is so untouchable that he's yet to even have to deal with,
So Butt Man don't have a nemesis.
No, he should. You're right. I'll get on that. I'll talk to him about it. They'll come up with something.
Yeah, they're
Trae, kids, I need you to come in here. This is serious. We need to talk about story structure, goddammit.
Yeah. I've very briefly tried. It never works out. I've thought about trying to kind of by that type of thing, getting them to kind of like write out a story, basically, that the three of us then like acted out, like, but like played it totally straight and completely seriously.
Absolutely.
Like, drunk history, kid history.
Like none of it was funny at all. At all.
Yeah.
But then it's like, written by Bishop Crowder, 8 years old. So, it's like written by a child. So you get the joke, but we play it totally straight. I've tried. It's like they just end up.
It's like they're 8 years old.
Evolving into like, yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like they're 8 years old talking about fucking Fart Man and Butt Man.
Yeah. But right. Your efforts are either going to turn them into the next Fartin Scorsese or they're going to or they're going to rebel, and become accountants. Like, my dad was always trying to get me to be cool. So
either way, that hits.
True. Yeah, I agree. What makes Corey fart is dairy, but luckily for Corey, he's cut dairy out entirely because, as he said himself, as he announced.
Okay. I know what you're doing, but okay.
You're right. We announced it for you. As we announced, and he confirmed live on the air last week, Corey is he's gone vegan, everybody. A vegan show. How about that? So let's check back in and see how that's going. This week in veganism with the show, how's it going there?
Still going strong, man. Just it's firmly. Look, bro. All right, so what had happened was let me go ahead and tell you right now what I've learned from my stint being a vegan is this.
It don't hit.
No. It's not that it don't hit. That's hilarious. It's not that it don't hit. If you think that you have prepared for 7 days worth of being a vegan, you've really probably only prepared for about 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Because like the first 2 days especially, you're going to very much overeat on all the stuff just to make up for the fact that you're like, well, goddamn, I'm not having this, and this. At least I'm going to have fucking twice the amount that this is. And so what happened to me was I fucking got drunk and I'd had my vegan noodles that night. And they were spicy vegan noodles. And I cooked up some mushrooms in some vegan butter. And it was all really fucking good. The only thing weird about the noodles is that they were kind of a weird chewy texture. But after a couple bites, it actually started hitting for me. The problem is that the next day I didn't have any options whatsoever for myself. And I woke up hungover and I could not bear the thought of driving 30 minutes to Whole Foods. And there was literally nothing else to do but have Arby's delivered to me.
There's nothing else he could do. There's just nothing I could do, Trae.
But
my hands were tied.
If you got to be a monkey, be a gorilla.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. It wasn't like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just reintroduce eggs into my system today,
right?
And then go back tomorrow, and it'll be fine. It was like what you said.
It was we've got the meats.
I mean, well, goddamn. I mean, why not? What's the difference? Like me.
He just said fuck it. He just said fuck it. Looked around and said, God damn it, who's got the meats?
Who's got?
That's right.
Yeah. Arby's.
And I need the meat. And had Arby's delivered. That's like if you're involved the vegan wagon. Having fucking Arby's delivered to you is like
it's rough.
They deliver it via wagon? Who the fuck delivers that in Chickamauga?
Can I tell you something right now that you're not gonna believe? It fucking hit real hard. That Arby's is real good, dude. I had a fucking 2 beef and cheddars. And dude, here's the cool thing about Arby's. They're not sponsoring the show this week, but here's the great thing about Arby's. If you're thinking about getting it delivered, what's cool is when you're sitting there picking, I've never like picked all the shit on the phone from Arby's. Like I've always just gone in and been like, yo, beef and cheddar, whatever. But like they list all these options for you that you didn't even know otherwise you can have. So I had a fucking beef and cheddar with a slice of Gouda on it and crispy onions sprinkled on that bitch. Like, woo-wee. Like it was real good, boy. It was real. And then, son, I mean, as you can imagine, it's not like I went the next day and been like, well, let's get some tofu and some like it's just because I kept drinking too. Like I kept drinking whiskey, and
you blamed it on the whiskey. That's why you puked, homie.
Yeah. No, that was second day. By the way, that was the second day. No,
what did you eat that day?
2 pounds of garlic parm chicken wings.
Yeah. I think our audience needs to know, how far is the Arby's that you had delivered?
12 minutes. Not even that.
Were you drunk though?
Oh, hold on. Not 12. It's 6 minutes. No, I was hungover. I was just real hungover. And like okay, yeah, there's a delivery fee, but it's not ridiculous for the amount I ordered. Like, because I made it worth it. Like the delivery fee is what the delivery fee is. So you just order a bunch more food, and then it's like, right, it's not like I paid a $6 delivery fee for a $6 sandwich. I paid
you
a $6
and Andy are so different, but so much the same. Just like bags and bags of shit. Like, I got festival clothes, and the shipping and handling's the same no matter how many shirts you buy. So I bought 7 of them. I'll send 3 back. No, you won't.
Well, it was my money, but so what I did find out though was that genuinely I do like the vegan sour cream. Like I like it. Like I really like it. It tastes fucking good. So I think there's a couple areas that I'm still gonna improve on in my life, and maybe if I prepare better the next time, I don't fucking know, man. Like I'm always gonna get drunk and get Arby's delivered. That's who I am.
Can I just, but on that note, because, I'm right there with you. I've been a yo-yo my entire adult life as far as fat.
Yeah.
Fat between like real fat and kind of fat.
The answer is 7 pounds in 4 days. I gained and lost.
Okay, but like you just said, like, oh, there's some improvements I can make with God damn, and I've been there. In my experience, doing those like hard swings
like
that,
it's not a good idea.
You just did, that's exactly what leads to
what happened.
The intense falling off the wagon of like diving into the shame pool with Arby's or whatever.
And in hindsight, you start remembering stuff like that. But but Trae, I cannot express to you can you imagine how ashamed and disgusted I was at myself to go, not only do you need to get your shit together, you need to change everything. Like for me to even entertain veganism, I was at such a fucking low point. And at that moment, you don't consider, you're like, dude, you should just ease into this. You're like, there's no easing in. I'm a bag of shit. Look at you. Like, this is bad. Like, look what you did. And then I told you, and this is the first time I've ever really done this, like, I didn't have any delusion of like, I'm going to be a vegan the rest of my life. True. I literally was just like, I want to do it for one fucking week, just 1 week. Yeah. That's it. Just one. And I also maintained that if I had prepared better, which I could next time, I would have made it that week. Because if I'd have woke up and I'd have had more vegan noodles and stuff, I'd have ate them. But I didn't. So fucking viva la meats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you did. You did, to be fair to you, you did explicitly state that I'm not even fronting like this is going to be forever now or nothing like that. I'm just giving it a shot, which is very unlike the show in my experience. So, like, you knew what it was finna be.
I did, so. And son, what I've done to chicken ever since.
On that note, do you think if you had convinced yourself that you were doing it forever, you would have made it a week?
No.
Is it like a thing where if your goal is here, you're going to get halfway no matter what the goal is?
I think if I'd have convinced myself it was forever, I'd have made it a day. Like the only because that's how I've had to quit cigarettes is like I was told early on. It sounds cliche, but it really works. Never say to yourself, "I'm never having a cigarette again." Just say, "I'm not having a cigarette today," because you can handle today, And I thought I could handle a week, but turns out. How big of a bag of shit I am just really knows no bounds. But yeah, like, dude, buddy, again though, man, like that I can't, like, I don't know what, like a doctor would literally have to, first off, here's what would happen for me to go vegan the rest of my life. Not only would I have to like be drugged through a slaughterhouse by one of them documentarians and like actually firsthand witness all the stuff that I've turned a blind eye to, because I know that if I saw it, it would change me for probably about a week. Not only would that have to happen, like I'd have to literally see them stab cows in the head with a screwdriver and slit pigs' throats and shit. Then also coupled with that, I would have to have a doctor tell me if you have another piece of meat, you will die. Like, you will die if you have, like, that fucking thank you for smoking, Aaron Eckhart. Like, if you have one more puff, this will literally do you in. And even fucking then, I can imagine myself, like, making it a couple weeks and then just being like, well, today, for the last day of my life, I'm going to have a ribeye. And then I'm going to fucking check out. I'm going to get drunk first because you can't take it with you. But, like, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I fucking love pig. I love cow. I love
boy. I know that's right.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, we hadn't even mentioned dairy.
I know.
I could probably go without the meats for way longer than the dairy. Probably. I don't fucking know, bro.
Was the sour cream the only dairy product you feel like you found a reasonable replacement for?
As far as like snacking cheeses and stuff, they had a couple. And there's a difference between snacking cheeses and a cheese you're going to put on top of something.
I get you,
like,
of course.
Because this cheese that I really like doesn't seem like it would melt on a fucking veggie burger.
Well, it'd be melting weird. Those vegan cheeses be melting.
I can tell because the texture's weird, but I do like the way it tastes, and also. That fucking Violife cream cheese was the bomb. I honestly think next time I go to the store, I'm getting that instead of regular cream cheese, even if I ain't trying to front on other levels. The nut cheese, as you were telling me about, hit for me. And
I know about those because my buddy Micah is he's lactose intolerant. Like, he has to lay the fuck down for like 8 hours. So he don't fuck with it. And he's had some almond cheeses in his house that I just didn't even know. I'm just drunk eating cheese.
Most of the dairy products that I had, actually, I feel like vegans they're getting really close, if not figured a lot of them out. However,
not milk.
Not milk, no, not milk at all. Not milk which for me it's actually fine because they do just be like if I didn't want to do vegan, but it's like, oh, the milk portion of it fucks me up. They have lactate milk that I can drink, and that's fine. But like I'll tell you what they ain't like they're like attempt at like hot dogs and shit like that. Like I would literally rather just have a plate of carrots. You know what I mean? Than that. I would rather be like, look, I'm just gonna eat vegetables. You don't have to trick me into like all it does is it smells kind of like a hot dog, and at first you're like, oh yeah, this is about to be it, and then it ain't shit at all. So like I literally would rather eat asparagus.
My buddy Ben, he's been on the podcast before. He's been a vegetarian since he was like 16, and there was a place in New York that was a really high rated vegetarian restaurant that did the fake stuff. And Ben eats trash, and like he'll tell you, like when we were in Australia living together, Ben would drink an entire liter of orange soda and 2 bags of potato chips frequently. That would be his day.
Is this Professor Ben?
Yeah. Yeah, just super smart. And then, you know, you get him in the grocery store and he's like, I don't know, chips, I'm 35. But he loved that place and he took me there. And I'm with you, Corey. Like, he was like, yeah, I love this place because, you know, he didn't want to eat carrots. Like, he wanted to eat fried chicken. So he got this fake fried chicken. And they didn't even get the smell right there, in my opinion. It smelled like rubber and chemical.
No, like for real, like going back on that, like I'm just look, if I'm doing vegan, I don't even get the illusion of a hot dog. Like I'm just would rather eat these asparaguses and whatever the fuck, because like it ain't it. But dude, I'm telling you, that sour cream, like I love it. The cream cheese is good, but yeah, I mean, y'all were right. That lasted about as long as you'd think.
Well, you're gonna get a million comments of like, you know, that stuff is processed and just as bad for you.
Give a fuck.
Yeah, your whole point was I don't want to fart immediately when I have dairy.
Yeah. I was just trying different stupid stuff. Like, what the fuck ever, man. I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be. I'm stupid. I'm fat. I'm dumb. I don't hit.
Yeah.
Like, what else? What more do people want to know? Like, I suck. I'm a garbage piece of shit that can't.
Everybody loves the show.
Yeah.
Look,
Joe had an identical meltdown in front of a stranger on Zoom. 2 strangers 3 days ago, and it was the hardest I fucking laughed. And on that note, it was in preparation of our show, which is Friday, August 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can get tickets on our website, wellredcomedy.com. We're doing a comedy show that you stream. You can sit in front of your computer, or you can hook it up to your Apple TV or your Fire Stick. There's ways on their website. They'll show you how to do it. I think it's $15. Is that right?
Yeah, $15. Yeah,
all 3 of us, all new material. And what made me think of it just now is if Cho's meltdown on that phone call about how to structure this show is any indication of how funny he's going to be on Friday, it will be the funniest comedy show you've ever seen.
Well, I hope. I would like to think that I'm funnier on stage than I am off stage, but I've been told before that wasn't true.
It really, really depends on what you are doing at any given point, like where your head's at and just what degree to which you are actively showing out. Because like when you like have like a meltdown, I mean, it's hard to touch it. It's
talking
hilarious.
About how big of a bag of human shit he is in front of a stranger while Trae and I horse laughed. And I think that Corey was horrifying those poor women.
Absolutely. There's no way I wasn't.
But our reaction, Trae, was
it made me keep like, going in.
Oh no, you're and I was falling over in the floor until you brought up Granny Bane, and then I called you a piece of shit.
Well, like that's the problem was like I literally was chowing out and freaking out and like in a moment, but then I saw y'all laughing, and like once I saw y'all laughing, I was like, oh, this finna hit. Like I'm gonna hit him with this line. So like obviously I was trying to hit.
Poor woman were like, no, you're not a bag of shit. It's okay. And then
she told him,
well, my granny died 4 years ago, and we were close.
She pleaded with him to, quote, stop the shame spiral.
Yeah, that's
that he was currently in. Yeah, and then, yes,
I said, sorry, my granny died 4 years ago, and I'm still not over it. And and what was so funny about it,
oh, you poor thing.
They both went on. Drew was like, you fucking piece of...
he was like, don't say all of that fucking piece of shit that you really just said 4 years ago.
Well, and just like you were enjoying their reaction. So it's like, these women feel terrible and they shouldn't, and you just made them feel worse.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking awesome. It was pretty sweet. It was like the most reaction I've gotten out of somebody that wasn't y'all in a very long time. I haven't seen a lot of people, you know. I've been sticking at the house.
Yeah, man.
All right, speaking of getting a reaction out of people, I was wanting to get into something with y'all. I don't know how far it'll go. I'm not about to, I know every now and then we get into sort of like PC culture and shit. This isn't explicitly about that, but it is indirectly related to it. It's a story I saw recently that I didn't know about until then. First of all, I'm going to ask y'all, generally speaking, when do you, like, how many years do you feel like that whole, like, PC culture thing has been going on? Political correctness has been talked about since at least the 90s. That's why Bill Maher made a show, Politically Incorrect. But the, like, hardcore, you know, white male comedians fighting back against PC culture type shit. Like, how long we've been dealing with that?
You mean the annoying kind?
Yeah, it's kind
I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I've seen newspaper clippings from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s talking about that stuff.
I was about to say,
I don't know the context.
I was about to say, like I was going to kind of say what you said. Like, I've not only seen those clips, but I've also recently reread The Comedians by Cliff Nesterhoff, and like he gets into a lot of that from the old days, and he shows a bunch of articles, and like I think that it's always been a problem. It's just the only difference between now and then is like now there's Twitter, now there's Facebook. So like everyone that's always felt that way just says it. And so now there's more think pieces on it where like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, but yeah, I guess back then, like George Carlin wasn't going on stage. No, I guess he was. I mean, that's what 7 words you can't say on television's about, really. Yeah. I mean, that's television political correctness.
I mean, Lenny Bruce is kind of
his whole thing.
Right. Well, I mean, look, back in the day, like you literally objectively couldn't talk about a huge number of things.
Yeah.
So, you know,
you would literally get your cabaret card taken.
Talking about it back then.
Well, that's a big part of my like annoyance with the current day one is like, man, a lot of people got mad at you on the internet, and then they're like, well, you know. And some of it I understand where it's like, this dude got fired over a joke and blah, blah, blah. But some of it I'm like, I don't know. It sounds like that guy's fans don't want to be his fans anymore. Like, I don't know what to say about that.
So, like, most of the comedians I was talking to, it was either my dad or I think it was my dad not too long ago. I was like, if you really think about it, all the comedians in the past several years who have been canceled actually, like, did something illegal or at the very least insanely perverted. But like as far as just words and stuff go, I mean, like Shane Gillis, yes, that's one that I can. But like
Shane Gillis and Aziz, the Shane Gillis thing, my stance on that has always been like, dude, Saturday Night Live wasn't for you. I can't believe they hired you. Like that wasn't as much. That was more Saturday Night Live being like, oh my god, we hired the wrong dude.
Aziz didn't get fired from nothing, did he? Like
he lost his show, but he left it, but some people were like he was forced out, and it's not been clear since then. He got a Netflix special immediately, though. That was the same network his show was on, so it's hard to imagine them being like, your show's canceled, but you can have a special.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does cancel even mean if you're still going to be able to get stuff? Like, with Shane, it sucks, man. Like, I hate anyone getting fired for a thing they said in the past. I'm sure it wasn't that too far long in the past, but like they just hired him. Saturday Night Live's a place where they're like, look, it'd been one thing if you'd been on here for 4 or 5 years crushing, then we might be like, look, he did a stupid thing in the past, but it's like we have no reason to take the PR hit for someone who hasn't come on here and proved us. That's just how the fucking world's always been.
Well, it also was hard to defend Shane because there was no punchline.
Right. Okay. So the reason I ask is because I just recently found out about an instance of it happening from 2008, and it happened not in the world of comedy, but in the world of sports journalism. So try to get there somewhat briefly. Y'all know me. Everybody that follows sports at all saw a few weeks ago where Deshaun Jackson went full anti-Semite and was literally quoting Hitler, and a piece that ended with Hitler was right. A piece that started with Hitler said and ended with Hitler was right, which like you generally don't want to do that.
Does Deshaun Jackson thinks that he would have hit for Hitler? Like,
yeah, right. I don't know. The whole thing was ridiculous, but then a bunch of other athletes like came to bat for him at the time, talking about like, look, he's just speaking the truth. It's like, no, hush.
Nobody asked you.
You ought not be doing that. Yeah, what you should have said was nothing. But anyway, so that was a thing a couple weeks ago, whatever. And when that thing was happening, Jamel Hill, who's a very prominent sports journalist, a black woman sports journalist, been around for a long time, she put out an article about it that was like, the angle of it was basically, here's what Deshaun Jackson did, and I understand it because I had my own Hitler moment And I think about it all the time, and I'm ashamed of it, and I've been ashamed of it, and what you got to reckon with it. So I know where Deshaun's coming from. But here's the thing. I was wrong, and he's wrong, and it's inexcusable, and you can't do that. And that was her new article. And in the article, she's like, in 2008, I wrote a piece where I compared rooting for the Boston Celtics to saying that Hitler was a victim. And that's all she wrote in the new piece. And she was like, and that was fucked up or whatever. You read that and you're like, fucking what? Right? You go back and look at it though. And in 2008 in the piece she wrote, she was talking about like if living in Detroit, how much the Celtics don't hit basically for the city of Detroit. And then there's a paragraph where she's like, y'all got to understand Detroit is 80% black. And in Detroit, rooting for the Boston Celtics would be like rooting for unemployment or a plague of locusts. It's like wishing free dollar bills and free time on Pac-Man Jones. It's like wanting to hear Ron Artest raps on repeat. It's like this. It's like saying Hitler was a victim. It's like hoping the pit bull doesn't take Michael Vick's pinky as a memento, like rooting for Michael Vick against a whole list of things like that. Yeah. And one of them was the thing about saying Hitler was a victim, right? And she got fucking torn apart for that in 2008. Like she got
that's because she's a black woman going after the Boston Celtics.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
But say that once you say it like how you just said it, I'm like, that ain't fucking bad. Like, what are you talking about?
I know. Well, that's my whole point.
Just listed stuff that don't hit.
I know. Like you go back. Like that's what I'm saying. Like after Deshaun Jackson did his thing a couple weeks ago, and she's now 12 years removed from this. She writes a piece now, and in the new piece, she's like, what I said was reprehensible and inexcusable, and I never should have done it, and I feel shame about it to this day and whatever. And she takes just the one quote without all the context in her own article, and you read that, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But you go back and read the whole thing, and I was like, what, dude? This is fucking. It is
you could
bullshit.
Just not said nothing.
It is bullshit that anybody got. It is so clear what she's doing.
Yeah.
Like she's being hyperbolic for effect. She's saying like these are terrible, all these unimaginably terrible things that no sane or rational person would ever do. Rooting for the Celtics in Detroit was like almost on a level with these crazy things. Like there's nothing wrong with that. She shouldn't have been suspended. She should have went harder. Well, I agree how much of it is she's a black woman, how much of it is the way sports takes itself very seriously, generally speaking. So is it like that, and she's a black woman, and all this stuff together?
The black woman's the thing going against her the most. I would personally
and
say.
Going after Boston specifically, which has these, I would argue a lot of racist white fans, but who are with it enough and savvy enough to like latch onto that. But if you don't mind, let me play devil's food advocate for a second. Even if you say what she did was wrong, like that kind of joke is unacceptable. I can't think of anybody, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know enough people, but I can't think of anybody who wouldn't at the very least go, I disagree with both of these, but recognize one is much worse than the other.
Yeah.
Like there are people who would go, you should never jokingly say that you would make Hitler the victim, but they would acknowledge that you did it in jest, and then they would say your jokes are hurtful and jokes make it acceptable for someone like Deshaun Jackson to make these comments. They would make all these arguments, but no one would say it's the same thing as literally saying Hitler is right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would argue that defending Deshaun Jackson is worse than the goddamn joke she made.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, okay, she was the one conflating the two herself in a new article that she wrote. But
in defense of Deshaun Jackson, right?
No, that's what I was going to say. She was not at all defending what Deshaun Jackson did. She was trying to be like, Deshaun, I know what it's like because I've been there, and because I've been there, I can tell you need to understand you cannot do that shit, and you should apologize for it, and it is unacceptable, and you whatever, that type. That was like her angle, but it wasn't defending him. It was trying to like say, I know because I've been there myself, and it's inexcusable, and you should never do it. But with you. They're not at all the same fucking thing.
Well, look, if Jamel feels bad about making that joke, if she made it in ignorance and someone pointed out to her that makes people feel uncomfortable and she decided for herself it's wrong to make those kinds of jokes, that's fine. But it's like there's got to be levels to. I mean, again, people make off-color jokes, and you can go, "That's racist," or "That's wrong," or "You shouldn't do that," or maybe that makes me wonder about that person. But when someone is straight up, "Hey, man, Hitler was right about this thing," it's like, well, I don't even know where we go from here. I don't have to explain anything to you.
So,
you just are saying it.
Yeah, so an example of that is like when I say recently, I mean it's been within the pandemic or whatever. Randy Orton, who's a WWE superstar, one of their biggest fucking top dudes, he was doing a live stream video game. He was playing along, and you could like hear him and stuff like that. And he shot a dude in the video game, and when he did, he said, "Boom." N-word, like with the with the A, but it was very under his breath. And no, you're wrong. He shouldn't have done. But he got a lot of shit for it from people like somebody recorded, and it's like Randy Orton saying that. And WWE didn't fire him or nothing. You know, it was what it got swept under pretty bit. Realistically, it's because it's like it just really wasn't that big of a deal. Like nobody gave that much of a fuck. And then a lot of people were saying like, well, this is bullshit because the WWE fired Hulk Hogan for saying the N-word. So what's the difference? What's the difference in this? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, here's the difference. Hulk Hogan got fired because there was a tape of him saying that I would never want my daughter to marry a beep. Like, that's different than just saying, yo, what up, I know that they're the same word. I get that yes, technically the same word came out of this
and
person.
both wrong,
but
different levels.
Way different levels. Like one was probably a drunken, high, stupid mistake that he shouldn't have done, but one had so much just bad intent behind it. Like they're not the same thing. I know that a lot of these people want to believe so bad that we live in a black and white world where it's like, well, he said it and he said it. What's the difference? There's a fucking huge difference, and you goddamn know it. Like you know when you hear something if something's worse.
Right. It's context and intent are like the two factors that should be taken into account in any of these instances. And a lot of times, a lot of people, but they're just like the reactionary online assholes who live to do shit like that. But a lot of times those people, though, they purposefully go out of their way to ignore context and intent. And they're, and that don't hit for me. That pisses me off.
No, it's been the whole, like, it's refusing to believe that we live in a gray world. That pisses me off so bad.
It's also dangerous, in my opinion, in the times we're living in because we're, and by the way, the feds left Portland. I want to mention that. It's very positive news. We've discussed it briefly on here. Well, I don't know if they left. They didn't go out.
Probably went to go get more guns.
Yeah, they didn't go out at night for the first time. And guess what, guys? It was super peaceful. It's crazy how that happened. I wonder what changed. And, of course, they're taking credit for it. Like, see, we cleaned up all the bad guys. It's like, yeah, you literally you left last night.
I love that. Go ahead.
That aside, my only point was just like when we're living in a time where, like, people are being swept up off the street for exercising their First Amendment rights by groups that have been infiltrated by literal white supremacists. I'm not saying it's okay for Randy Orton to say that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when we're focusing on one.
Right, come on.
And look, fuck Ellen. But when we're trying to get her fired for being mean – and not putting any energy towards like literal fucking sweeping people off the street and kidnapping.
Yeah, come on.
It's dangerous. It's in my opinion.
No, I agree with you fucking 100%. Like, and I'm a huge advocate of like, of saying, hey, well, it's possible to worry about two things at once. Cause it is like, there'll be a lot of times where like, something actually terrible will happen. And somebody will be like, really, we got all this going on. That's what you want to worry about. I'm like, no, I'm worried about that other thing too.
Sure.
You can be worried about both. Like we literally can't just focus on one thing at a time because like right now we have, feds in cities like Portland and we've got black people getting shot. And then we've also got this fucking pandemic. So what I'm saying, because we have all that, no, it don't matter. Ellen shit don't fucking matter. But like it's fine if I know there's going to be a couple like studio execs that have to worry about it. That's their fucking job. But like, no, man, you're right. Like there's no energy.
Right. But kind of on what you're saying, Corey, like, no, it definitely doesn't matter in the big scheme of things, but like you were alluding to, I think like both things can be true. Like, we don't have to expend a whole lot of energy as just like people who can't do anything about it.
Right.
Caring that much about that versus like Portland or other things. I agree with that, but that don't mean that she ought not face consequences.
Agreed.
Being the way that, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. I'm sure
both things are true.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
sure.
up for
Yeah,
that job, Trae? Is that what's going on? You
Yeah.
want to make sure.
No, and I hear you. It's just that like I don't give a fuck.
Trae Crowder's trying to
Right.
get a lesbian fired. It's unbelievable.
Like I would like honest to God, man, I really wish that we lived in a world where I'd be like, yeah, let's get into the Ellen thing, but like I don't care. Like it doesn't even make a dent in shit right now.
I'm not even trying to say I don't care. Yeah, it's just that like, man, it feels dangerous when we divert so much attention to it.
No, I
guess
agree.
is all I was saying.
I agree with you 100%, and they
Now,
want us. They want us to do that. They're so
Right.
glad that that Ellen is going on. They hope that they find out that Jimmy Fallon, slams motherfuckers' fingers in their doors. They can't wait for that to be a thing.
Right.
I am going to be a hypocrite and now to convert or put some energy towards something that it doesn't matter in my world. I guess it matters in some people's world if it happened to them. But this was just wild to me, and I'm curious y'all's thoughts on it. I don't know Brian Callen. Brian Callen's a comedian. He was associated with Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia, I think we talked about briefly on here, got into some accusations that he solicited nude photos from girls who happened to be underage that he met on the internet. When he found out they were underage, according to some reports, he kept doing it. Brian Callen is one of his friends. He's older. Some accusations have come up from his past of varying degrees. The reason I'm bringing it up is he has said that he's innocent, and then he named PC culture as like, I'm not going to let PC culture ruin my. Now look, I'm not saying Brian Callen is guilty or not guilty, and I'm not trying to, and I'm also not saying that these girls who are claiming that he did these horrible things, I'm not wanting to diminish that. That's the most important thing. But whether or not you rape somebody has nothing to do with PC. That's insane to me.
Yeah,
if you're literally not somebody else, not if somebody you're a fan of got accused of rape and you blame it on PC culture, you literally have felonies at your doorstep, and you're still. I mean, at least he's committed to the damn bit. He's literally blaming PC culture for being blamed for rape.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying that it's not possible for someone to be fucking lying, and
right.
I'm not saying, but if that's true, and some girl is literally lying and saying that, Brian,
right?
Then what does that have to do with PC culture? That's just a fucking crazy person did a thing to you. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's not like somebody was sitting there and they were like, we've got to take Brian Callen down.
It's their devil. It's the devil. Like my mama growing up with a devil.
I don't know enough.
I don't disagree.
I'm very vaguely aware of the whole situation you're talking about, but I don't know the details, and I also didn't see the video where he blamed
I don't either,
that.
for the record.
It was written.
But one thing, I don't know why I said PC culture, but, and again, I'm not educated on this specific thing, the specific case we're talking about, but I do feel like cancel culture and PC culture are often intertwined, and I think cancel culture is a thing where, like, without having read it, what he's saying is an online lynch mob coming after me because of an accusation that I'm telling you is not true, and it's one accusation and whatever, and everybody coming after me saying that I should be canceled as a result of that.
Right.
I think that's bullshit, and I'm not going to give in to that. If that is what it said, I would understand why he wrote it that way.
Sure.
But it's saying if it says PC culture, I don't know. I agree with you that I don't know what that specifically has to do.
Well, I guess you're right. He's if I'm not mistaken, and that's what went down, I guess he has conflated the two. And I understand what you're saying. Without commenting on whether or not anybody did anything, you would understand someone who's going to defend themselves being like, I'm not afraid of cancel culture or whatever.
Right.
But even that to me is kind of crazy. It's like, I know what you mean about them getting conflated, and I guess to some extent I understand how they're conflated and why they're connected to each other. But even that, I'm a little bit...
Because you can be canceled for either one. Like, you can be canceled for
not being PC.
The sexual assault, all that type, the Me Too stuff, but you also can be canceled for the PC stuff.
It's just revealing to me
cancel culture, so they're related in that.
Without trying to comment on this dude's guilt or innocence, it's very fucking revealing to me that he equates rape and making a joke with the word queer in it as like a similar thing that people get. You know, those people are always mad about dumb shit. You know, like jokes and me riffing and me assaulting a girl. Like
we'll see. And again, and I'm not what I'm about to say from this point forward has zero to do with Brian Callen, but is just going to comment on what you just said, which is that I've had several conversations where with people from around here, relatives, non-relatives, that were just like, aren't you worried about what's going on with like how people are getting canceled, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I mean, look, I think sometimes maybe the pendulum has swung too much and some people get crazy, but like realistically, I haven't seen anybody who just get canceled for saying just one no thing that like all their fans didn't leave. And somebody was like, really, with this stuff that's happening to Louis C.K. And I was like, whoa, hold on. He fucking like jerked off in front of people. Like that's a crime. Like that's not the same thing. Like, are you really sitting here going like, God damn, people these days won't even just let you fucking sit there and jerk off in front of them in a goddamn hotel. If you have a show.
That's sort of why I brought it up. It's like the fact that those two things are being conflated.
Yeah, it's weird. Like that's weird. Like, yeah, dude. I will probably if you made an in bad taste joke, as long as I kind of knew what you were trying to do, and I think you did, I'll defend the shit out of you. I'm a comedian. Like I've Lord knows I have.
Right.
Like, in words and stuff, I'll be like, look, they didn't mean that. That sucks. I get why. Look, if you don't want to be a fan of them anymore, I can't tell you not to be. Obviously, nobody can. That's just how that goes. But like, yeah, I mean, crimes though is not the same thing, and it shouldn't be labeled as the same thing. Like, I don't get how that's
weird. I guess I'm trying to think of the counter argument. I guess it would be, well, y'all are the ones treating them the same. And I don't think that's true, but I guess they feel that way. Like a part of their defense is, but to be clear, Brian Callen was accused of crimes, not of making off-color jokes.
Because I was about to say, like, Brian Callen's in that, like, he's in that Rogan crew. Like, it's when it comes to just words and stuff, those dudes are fairly okay.
They're untouchable.
Like literally, like word, it doesn't matter because
they're uncancelable.
Their fans don't give a fuck, and by the way, fucking good for them. That's fucking awesome. But like,
I argue all the time that their success proves that this cancel culture about words thing is, if not bullshit, it's overstated. It's over hyped up. You know,
right? Like if
they make all kinds of jokes, and their fans give them money.
Right, as I say, we live in a world where like one person can cancel me, but if fucking 15,000 people still want to come to my show, then who gives a fuck? Like I'm still getting the money. But like that Barstool lunatic,
that guy's crazy.
He is crazy. But like the other day, he even said, he's like, dude. Somebody was talking about him being canceled for saying something. He's like, do you understand who the fuck my fan? He's like, I go on Fox News every night. I can't be canceled. Like like now he could be accused and convicted of a crime, and therefore the law could. But like, he's correct. Like that dude literally can say whatever the fuck he wants, and if somebody starts giving him shit about it, he gets more fans because then there's the fucking conservatives see that and they're like, who is it? These libtards, these Democrats are trying to cancel again. I fucking like this guy. Who eats pizza, Randy? Come here. You know, so.
Well, I will say I just realized part of the celebrity thing in this country that leads to celebrities of all types and shapes becoming assholes is their belief they can get away with anything. And it is their fans that make them feel that. So I can see that it's dangerous, but it's got to be different. Uncancelable in terms of I can make whatever jokes I want versus seemingly saying I'll do whatever crimes I want.
Yeah, that's way different.
Of course, absolutely. But there are absolutely a certain type of person on the internet, right? Who, and Corey alluded to this earlier. I think we were talking about Ellen or something. He's like, no, they want. No, you're talking about Jimmy Fallon. Like, they want him to be a fuck up. They want him to be a monster. Like, they want that to happen so they can all just, like, you know, fucking lather up and go in on him and call for his head and all this shit on the internet. And, I mean, I think that's true.
Oh, for the record, I may have been misinterpreted. Okay. I meant, like, the government wants that to happen right now.
Because I knew what you meant.
Okay. But I still believe what you just said about how you interpreted what I said. I do also believe that too, but I was specifically talking about how, like, right now, because of the Black Lives Matter and the pandemic, the government is like, yes, Ellen, throw her to the wolves. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Well, likewise, I also
it was actually crazier. That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I agree with that. You're right. They definitely serves them, but I mean, there's absolutely a type of internet dweller, who like is just chomping at the bit to go after anybody of any.
They stopped listening to this podcast about 100 episodes ago.
Yeah, probably never fucked with it in the first place. Like,
okay, but that's the way they're the same. I guarantee you, if you go right now, you're going to find 1 million Rogan fans on a Rogan Reddit talking about how Ellen should be fired and blah blah blah. Like they're just as cancelly. They want they want their enemies fired too.
Right.
The people I'm talking about are the ones that want people canceled and want everybody canceled just because it hits for them to see people go down.
Right. Yeah. What I'm saying is
because they don't hit.
There's a comedian who we're not friends with, but I know him. I think I started following him on Instagram because we did a show together, who is always talking about how bullshit cancel culture is and has all week been calling for Ellen's head.
Yeah.
Because to him, she represents hypocrisy and fakeness. I understand that he thinks that's consistent because he's like, you cancel people for jokes, but not someone who's actually mean to their staff or whatever. But I'm like, but dude, what are we – it's just our team. It's not about the integrity of cancel culture versus free speech. It's your team. You just pull them for your team.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. I got to go on that note. I'm starving and the food just got here.
She's had a good career. So enjoy your food.
Yeah.
I think she's, by the way, I think she's uncancelable. The way that Joe Rogan is uncancelable, I think Ellen is uncancelable.
They'll fire her whole staff, but she'll be on that.
They're already doing it. They're already blaming her producers. Every fucking headline is about how mean her producers are.
Yeah, dude, because that's the thing about her is she can just – there will be someone that she can just be like, hey, I'm going to give you $10 million, but you have to have a press conference and you're the one that did all of this. And they'll be like, all right, fuck yeah.
I was listening to a podcast with a comedian that other comedians know has been around a long time and has written for a lot of other comics and a lot of shows and stuff. And he has this guy I'm talking about has a reputation for being a good dude, a nice guy.
You can say his name if he said it on the podcast.
Yeah, you're right. It was Greg Fitzsimmons. So
That's who I thought it was.
Greg Fitzsimmons has he has a reputation for being a good dude and not shitting on people or whatever. And in the podcast, the host started asking him about all these people he worked with, and he was like, be honest with me, give me your honest opinion of what it's like to work with this person. And it's like, Dennis Miller. And he's like, Dennis Miller, Dennis Miller's got a reputation for being tough, but in my experience, he's just an ultra professional. Chelsea Handler got a reputation for being a little difficult. Not my experience. I think she's a genius. Like, he was going out of his way to like compliment all these
people who are like famously
supposedly
not
difficult.
That, yeah.
Exactly. Every one of them. And Fitzsimmons also worked for Ellen, and then the host goes, Ellen DeGeneres, and he just goes, who's next on that list, you guys? and we went on, and he just went on to the next one, who was like David Letterman or something, who he called a prince, and they kept going. But she was literally the only one that he didn't make any kind of excuse for or whatever the whole time. And I thought that was very telling.
I don't know.
I totally believe every bit of that.
I do too. And I don't know. Look, I don't know any of this stuff to be true. It's all allegations. However, I will say this. It just in my career, and it's not all of them, but I have noticed that if you're a very clean comedian who tries not to offend and blah blah blah, sometimes you just end up being the bad. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be doing something specific, but like not even on that level of doing bad shit. But just I'd always found out like I would work with dudes on the road. Not going to mention any names, and like they were billed as this clean. They were fucking nightmares. Whereas like the dude wearing the leather jacket, smoking a cigarette, calling you a cunt. Right. He's awesome. He'll pick you up at the bar. He don't give up. You know what I mean? Like that shit. It sometimes works that way.
Being nice does not equate to being good.
But well, that's true too. But also, like, I don't know. It's just like when you have that facade, it's like this was carved. It seems.
Here's my thing, though. This is my personal opinion on it. If she is the nightmare, and it seems like she might be a nightmare, because of how funny she was, because of she came out on Oprah and she came out on her show, and all these things that she did, she totally gets a pass in terms of. I think she deserves all the money she's made.
Me too.
I don't like. And I never liked this as soon as I started hearing that she was a horrible person, the adoration she gets for being a heroic person. Yeah. Because it's like, well, we don't have – she's not. We can just say she's a pioneer and an icon, and that could be fucking true.
That's true. And because I always think of it as like, as long as she didn't actually commit any crimes, like I do think she deserved all the money. And like I also, in this industry, I cannot even begin to imagine how difficult it was for Ellen to get to where she is. can't even, not only being a woman, but coming up at the time she did and being gay. I literally cannot imagine that. And so there's always been a little bit of me that was like, she's allowed to be a little bit of a monster because of what I know they did to her. You know what I'm saying? But now I don't feel, she's got $500 million. I don't feel bad for her for nothing. But like, it had to be rough for her coming up.
Well,
man.
here's the last thing. Don't stop putting people on a pedestal, please. Don't put. I'll get drunk and fall off of it. Please don't.
I constantly knock myself off every week on this podcast just for this. So, all right, guys, come to our get tickets. WellREDcomedy.com, WellRED comedy.com for our August 7th show, live streaming. We love you. Check out all our other shit we got going on. And thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.